In medieval times, the celebration of darkness and light was marked with great halls filled with smoke and mirrors. Gilded goblets brimming with seasonal brews were lifted to lips speaking a language no longer known. The present connects the past through the brewer's art, and a beer of utter darkness is born. Feast of Fools Raspberry Stout. That is the blurb that Magic Hat offers on their website for Feast of Fools 2014. It's a Raspberry Stout. If you guys have read my previous post on Magic Hat's Meat Whistle, it was a phenomenal beer that really turned my opinion around of big breweries and what they are capable of doing. So I'm anxious to get this open and see what it has for us and see what Magic Hat has whipped up for us this time. Alright, so we have the beer poured. Let's go ahead and give it a smell and see what we come up with on the nose here. Cheers. Ooh. Okay, so right up front, you're getting a massive punch of raspberry. That's really all I smell. I smell a raspberry beer. I don't really smell too much of the malts or the beeriness to it. I smell raspberry. Trying to give you guys something, but all I smell is raspberry. So, alright, so the taste on the Magic Hat Feast of Fools 2014. Cheers. Okay, so right up front, you get a massive punch of raspberry, and it's a very effervescent beer. It's not like many of the stouts that I'm accustomed to, or even like the Meat Whistle that I had last time. Meat Whistle was very thick and very heavy beer. This is more on the lighter bodied side, that you can probably drink a lot more of this than that Meat Whistle. Obviously the Meat Whistle is a lot higher in alcohol as well. This was only 6%, but this at the end, well, after that raspberry taste goes away, you're getting that malty roasted quality in there. For me, this is a more of a black ale or a heavy brown ale, or a very dark brown ale, I should say, because it doesn't have what I look for in a stout, which is that thick quality, that that linger, that meal feeling. You know, people say, "Oh, I had a stout. I can't drink too many of those because they feel like I had a whole meal." That's what I look for in a stout, for the most part. But I'm not saying this is not a good beer. It's just a little lighter bodied than I had thought it would be. So, okay, so what do I think of this beer, right? Listen, I think this is a good quality beginner stout brew. And why do I say beginner stout? Well, I say that because I had, for Thanksgiving, I had brought a beer to my family that was high in alcohol. It was barrel aged. It was just full of that, that next level, just stoutness, you know what I mean? Those bigger stouts that I'm used to, that I really enjoy and I like. So I brought that to my family for Thanksgiving, and they hated it. And for me, I couldn't believe that they hated such a wonderful, great beer. But I think if I bring this beer to my family for Thanksgiving, they would have loved it. It has that lighter body that doesn't overwhelm them. It has that raspberry flavor that really draws you in, and it's a little more amenable to your palate than some of those barrel aged, just coffee flavored just beers. So I think what I would give this beer overall rating, I'd give this a B+ for my palate. For a beginner, you might really, really like this stout. You might think it's one of the better stouts that you've had. But again, as being somebody that's a little more seasoned when it comes to stouts and the type of stouts that I like, this falls a little bit short in body. I think for me it was the body. I really liked the flavor. I thought the flavor was good. I liked the raspberry. I liked the roasted quality to it. I just thought it should have been thicker, should have been heavier, should have lasted on my palate a little bit more, a little less effervescent, a little, and I think that would have made this beer a standout A beer. But being that it just for me was that little thin, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a B+. So that's my rating on this. If you find this and if you want to bring something home for Christmas for your family that they're probably gonna like, go ahead and pick this up. It's an excellent beer that I guess everybody can enjoy. So cheers.